today's episode, we're gonna be working not on a normal 65, on a new one. There's a lot in this episode, but we'll get to in a second. Meet the new 65 Fastback for the channel. It's gonna be sick. I'll explain in a second and roll the intro. Woo!
I got crazy thoughts that stay on my mind. I promise I'm fine. I'm doing alright. And I'm back again.
So guys, first off, I want to apologize for the lack of content in the past month or two. I apologize. I really just kind of needed some time to myself. Plus, I felt like the content I was making was really lacking in the creative side, and I wasn't really happy with it. I needed a break. I needed just some time to myself, and I apologize, but I'm back. You may be asking, Eric, this is not the Mustang. What the heck happened? Where's the 65 at? The other 65 Fiona is at Charlie's house getting primed. We primed it yesterday. You guys will see that stuff soon. Now you're asking, Eric, why do you have a cowboy hat on? Number one, I found it moving. Number two, I feel like Carol Shelby wearing it. And that's a big thing. And kind of like Richard Petty kind of thing going on. I like it. If you don't like it, let me know in the comments. I really don't care. Number three, I'm sure you guys are wondering whose Mustang this is. This is a 65 Fastback, all original. It's beautiful. It's a long story, but I'll give you guys the rundown. Basically, my grandfather, who owned the green truck over here, that truck right there, my 78 F100. If you guys haven't seen that, click the link above. Anyway, he passed away about a year and a half ago, and this was his baby 1965 Fastback. This is the car that really got me started on my automotive adventure. Ever since I drove this thing for the first time, it was like a light switch in my head, and it just... But whenever he passed away, this car was kind of his child, and there was no one really to take care of it anymore. Basically, so my grandma finally decided to part with the car and pass it down to my mom, which in turn is passing it down to me because I'm a huge car nerd. Since the car's been sitting for so long, it does have a few issues, so we're going to be fixing them on the channel. We're going to do a clutch kit today. We need to do some heater core work, some wiring work. There's some paint stuff I don't like. Just some little stuff we want to fix up. Let me give you guys a quick tour while I'm talking. She is a 1965 Ford Fastback A code, I believe. But 65 Fastback, 4-speed, 289. My grandpa bought her in the 80s or 90s and rebuilt her then. Ever since then, he rebuilt the engine back then. And it's all original. Engine's been rebuilt, everything's been gone through. But everything is original as it was. So the car is beautiful, as you guys can see. He did an amazing job, and this was his child. But somehow, some way, the Lord has blessed us and brought this car into my hands. So what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be doing a clutch kit, which is gonna be a pressure plate, new clutch, and a few little things, nothing crazy. But we're gonna be pulling the trans out, putting a new clutch in, because that old clutch hasn't been replaced since the 90s, and it is chattering pretty bad. So we're gonna tear into this thing. First off, let me show you what we're gonna be working with. So guys, I went ahead and picked up a new clutch kit, the same clutch we ended up putting on the other 65 Fiona. But let's go ahead, get into working on this thing. We're gonna pull the trans out, see how that looks. We're probably gonna end up changing the fluid on it, making sure the quick little rundown on that, and then taking the old pressure plate off, old clutch off, and assess the pilot bearing, stuff like that. But we'll get into that. Let's get to work, jack the car up, and start pulling stuff apart. Before we go any further, I'm gonna go ahead and not do what I did last time. We forgot to take the shifter out. So we're gonna go ahead, take the shifter out so we don't get caught on that like last time, and disconnect the battery because we're about to pull the starter. But shifter's just 2 half-inch bolts, holds it down, pull it out, we'll be good to go there. Talk to you guys in a second. But everything down here looks really clean. I mean, it's dirty, but not like, no rust anywhere. The car is in great shape. I mean, it's been garage kept for the last 40 years basically. I'm gonna have taken this cross member off, disconnecting the emergency brake, and a few little things moving up front. We got some bell housing bolts to take off, take the starter off, disconnect the battery, stuff like that. But all the bushings, they look good, but I'm sure they could definitely use some freshening up. Everything's dry rotted. Nothing's busted, but everything, I mean, I'm sure it could be freshened up. We'll have to disconnect the equalizer bar, take the spring off, but I'm gonna get to work, and I think I'm gonna order a few more things, so this might be video drug out a little bit. I might get a new shifter. I meant to order that and I forgot. New shifter cover, things like that. But we should be able to pull the trains out, get the new clutch on, and get the trains back in. So hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. But I'm gonna get to work, put you guys on time lapse, and talk to you guys in a little bit. All right, we got it. Let's get this trans out of here nice and easy. Okay guys, the trans came out pretty effortlessly. Came out pretty effortlessly, no big issues. All that's left down here, we went ahead and took the trans out first. Just gotta take the bell housing out. There you go. I'll show you guys, I'm gonna take it off, show you guys in a second, but let me get that done, talk to you guys in a bit. Shush! Okay, so we got the clutch out, and the clutch is actually in a lot better shape than I had anticipated. There's some wear to it. There's some hot spots, but it's really in pretty good shape. But the biggest problem was the pressure plate. The springs in it have gotten so weak that whenever you push the clutch in, it's real slow coming up. So the springs are worn out. So the new pressure plate we got should take care of that, no problem. But yeah, the clutch is actually, we'll probably end up keeping this just in case we need a backup clutch for something. Went ahead, put the bell housing back on the trans. Grease this up, put the new throwout bearing on here, so that'll smooth. But we're gonna go ahead and try to slap the trans back in the car. Hopefully it won't be too big of a pain. We'll put it on the jack it up, and try to wiggle it around and make it all fit. This is always the fun part, trying to get this 100-pound trans above my head and making it fit. But we're gonna get it, put you guys in time lapse, talk to you in a bit. That was awful. Okay guys, just wrapped up putting the trans back in the car, and as you can see by me, that car absolutely murdered me. If you guys saw the clip of me trying to put the trans in, that was just, I hate putting trans in on the floor. That is exactly why we need a lift right there. But it's another time, maybe, hopefully soon. But I'm gonna go home, clean up, pick this video up tomorrow when we finish the install, and talk to you guys then.
Tomorrow.
Good morning guys, it is the next day, and I just wrapped up working on the 65 Fastback behind us. We were able to put the shifter back in. We're able to get the shifter back in, and it is way smoother now. I was able to grease it up, and the bolts for it were loose. So we just tightened them up, put some washers on it, and it is fantastic. But we're not going to drive it in this video, mainly because we have a heater core leak, and the heater core was supposed to come in yesterday, but it did not. So we're going to save that for the next video. But that is it for the clutch. Everything on that is good to go. Next video, we will be doing a test drive, breaking on the clutch, and probably a little day in the life, a little talking to you guys, and explaining to you the history of this car, where it's been, and what it means to me, stuff like that. But anyway guys, I love you guys a lot. Talk to you guys in the next video. Stay tuned, we got a lot of cool stuff with this car, with this truck, and the beloved 06. I'm thinking I'm gonna name it Biggie, because everyone calls me Big E or E. I'm thinking we're gonna call it Biggie, like Biggie Smalls. That's what I'm thinking. Let me know what you guys think, but you guys see plenty of content on that soon. And we guys love you guys a ton. Talk to you on the next episode.